Welcome, everyone, to this brand new episode of Baka-Talk, an anime podcast where we sometimes talk about anime. Today's topic is gossiping about Pyrolis' girlfriend. Here first, we have Pyrolis.
Hi, I am Pyrolis.
Also here, we have Boo.
Hello, I am Boo.
And we have Ramen Cat. So yeah, today we're about to talk bad about a person who's totally not in the room right now. So yeah. Also, we're gonna be talking about anime.
Anime is a good thing to talk about.
This is the downside of just not planning the intro, is it?
I think this is an upside.
Chaos is the way to go.
I think it's completely an upside.
Make chaos take
Make
the world.
chaos take the world.
I'll
So
become
we-
a castician.
Yes.
What are we going to talk about in regards to anime stuff?
Okay, so
Well, first off, hello everyone. Hope you're all doing
You don't
well.
acknowledge the audience.
I'm looking at the audience right now.
Oh,
That's my anime waifu.
Well, she's the audience.
he's got like 4 of her around this room.
Yeah.
Hidden
Very
in
nice.
separate places.
I don't even know who she is.
Nabara.
I know she's from Juju.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Juju.
Back in the power
Yeah,
She's
of
bad,
Juju.
Juju.
There's JoJo and Juju.
Brazilian Jitsu.
So anyways, you were
Yeah.
saying words that had some kind of sustenance.
So we've been watching anime. Well, I think half of us have watched the new episode of Chainsaw Man.
I've seen it.
I forgot it again.
I've
Yeah, it's half
seen
of
it.
us.
Oh, it's amazing. Things go down. The show starts getting messy and crazy, and I've been waiting for it.
Things go down in more than one way.
How do you feel about it, Weez? Because I know Boom already knows about it.
I like it a lot. The latest episode, it hasn't shown anything that it just bunch of stuff happened, and then it was like the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, this episode, it was really well animated. Like,
This
it
is
just
still sweaty, uncomfortable, like the rest of the show's been.
no, the beginning of the scene is just what's her name getting home from the bar
Yeah.
and just like taking a shower and stuff, and it's just like the animation budget just went to the roof as they're like, look at this doorknob. This took us months to animate this and make this doorknob.
Someone died drawing this doorknob.
You are
Her
going to look
eyes
at it.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Like the reflection, the coloration, and the detail in it. I'm pretty
There's-
sure an animator just lost his life.
There's that
drawing it.
there's
It's
that
amazing what
first-
Adobe After Effects can do.
There's that first person POV where she walks into the room where he's laying on the bed, and I'm like, wow, that could not have been easy.
But no, it's
So,
pretty great.
Yeah. It was
Like,
intense.
The chapter that this is in is pretty great, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole arc up to the gun gang
Yeah.
or mafia or whatever they call themselves, gun yakuza, is pretty good in the manga. But then that whole episode where they show most of that, it's the sound and the animation, just putting it all in motion, just makes it fit so much more better together.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Not gonna spoil it, but Denji's an absolute chad.
Denji is amazing.
Is there a
Um,
Pochita in it?
There is no.
No.
There is a mention of Pochita that's pretty funny.
There's always
a mention of Pochita.
Pochita. Need more Pochita. That's Chainsaw Man 1 out of 10. Not enough Pochita.
Not enough Pochita.
That's the
chips.
review.
I find it funny how Pochita is in the first part of Chainsaw Man. He's shown like 12 times.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's like the number one favorite character
Yeah.
of most people, like especially on Twitter and stuff.
And then they're just like, yeah,
Adorable.
nope.
He is
Not gonna see him
adorable, but
anymore.
it's just funny how people
Gorgeous.
latch on to little things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really.
It's the only cute thing in the whole
I know
show.
it's a very cute
Power's
design.
cute.
What about Nya?
Power's annoying.
When
What?
is
No,
the cat's name Nyako or whatever?
Nyako.
Nyako?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
Nyako.
cat's a cat.
The
Yeah,
leech,
but it's a cute cat.
the leech devil was pretty spicy.
Yeah. Risque.
Yeah.
Those were not leeches. That's all I'm saying.
No, some kind of leech.
Yeah, something.
I let her
Uh,
leech on me if you know what I'm saying.
Leave and never come
Oh,
back.
goodness.
Some might
Well,
say
anyway.
she likes the hang around.
I'm out.
There's so yeah. I don't know. It was okay. We've been watching, and everyone's been keeping up with the Chainsaw Man episodes, but nothing is happening. Where they just like went to a bar last episode,
Exactly.
or whatever. And then this episode drops, and everyone's like, "Yeah, forget."
I
about
stayed up late after editing the podcast. I'm like, I have been out of the loop for the last 2 weeks
Yeah.
talking about this because I'm never up to date. I get up to date, and these two people just
Not
forget
my
exist.
fault. My service got no. Not
You have
okay.
Wi-Fi at your house.
No, I don't.
What? You don't have any internet at your house.
No.
Carrier
it.
pigeons.
Dang.
What? What about your brother? He like hacks the internet.
Not anymore. He's too busy at work. All he does is work, come home, and sleep. I'm like, I remember those days.
I had a raid to do.
And you're like in the basement eating potato
Yeah, I'm
chips,
in the-
watching TV.
I'm in the
like,
basement eating
I
potato
remember those
chips,
days.
working on my guns, trying to get clean up so I can move a car in there, and I hear the. Doof, doof, doof.
You're like, he'll grow out of it.
Yeah, I'm like, you'll get used to that life yourself.
What? Okay, I have to ask that. Why is it when you're young, you have tons of energy, but when you're young and working, you're like in your
You have-
90s.
yeah,
and
you have,
then
like,
you
no
work yourself
energy.
out of it. Like, I'm old, I'm in pain, but I still have a whole day to function ahead through.
I know. I don't know.
I don't know either because I worked like a rabid dog when I was young, like 24-hour shifts and crap like that. And nowadays, if I work past 10 hours, I'm like, I'm gonna die.
But you still have stuff you have to do.
Exactly, I have to do stuff.
Yeah.
Where it used to be, I will sleep for 36 hours.
When I first started, like 13, 14, I couldn't get enough sleep. But then, like, after a year of it, I stayed up until 5 in the morning, would go to sleep or fall asleep at my computer, wake up, go to the Speedway, get a RX tonic, Arizona, and go to school, then go to work, and then come back home, play games till 5 in the morning, go to sleep for an hour.
Yeah.
That explains so much.
I mean, I could also wake up like before my alarm actually went off when I was young. Nowadays, I wake up 10 minutes after my alarm stopped actually working.
And then there's Wheeze.
Yeah.
He doesn't got a job.
Man, I make videos and stuff.
You're not doing your generation right. You gotta get like all defensive about your YouTube.
Oh,
career.
yeah. It's going to be big. I know it.
If you don't have to schedule yourself, that's already cheating.
I schedule myself.
No, if
That's-
you don't have to schedule yourself. That's what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
trick that he doesn't know yet. Once he gets to the 1,000 mark, he's got to schedule himself.
Yeah, I know. Once you get to that point.
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't know.
Yeah.
General Sam still doesn't schedule himself. He just bought a house like a few months ago.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
chaos incarnate.
That's fair. I aspire to be like him.
Could just be like Moist Critical and be like, well, I'm going to just put my life out here.
I'm just going to upload
Moist
3
Critical
videos
works
a day.
lot.
I know he
Yeah.
does.
You
That's
know
what-
how
that-
long he streams on Twitch
That's what
for?
I mean by it. Is like he's just like, well, on a whim throughout every single day, just be like, well, time to do a video.
He was filling up a bath, found a cockroach, and decided to stream it.
That was amazing.
I could just see that car pulls shower curtains by, sees cockroach, and it's like, this would make great content.
Money.
You just see him like wander off, come back with a camera. Okay, time to kill you.
Just talking to the cockroach. You're gonna make it big, kid.
Dude, imagine me in the cockroach. Like, what do you mean I'm going to be famous? What's the spray for?
He's just so naturally funny. He probably goes to some crappy restaurant, orders a bad burger, and is just talking to people like, this is the greatest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah. He did a video recently talking about how weird food reviews are. So
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of are. You sit there and watch someone chew on food.
Not only that, but it's their own palate. No one has the same palate.
exactly,
That's
that's why I don't pay attention to food critics unless they're like, the chicken gave me salmonella poisoning. It's the only time I pay attention to them.
Only food critic I listen to is Gordon Ramsay because I love how he berates people.
That's true.
There's an awesome clip of Gordon Ramsay with Mr. Beast, and he's like, here's my chocolate bar, and here's the like $1,000 like chocolate bar or whatever. And he like tries it, and he's like, oh yeah, that's good, and tries the other one. And then he says something, and he's like, no, yeah, the 1,000 one's way better. The video ends. is good video.
Well, Mr. Beast tried convincing him because like the Beast bar has only like 4
Yeah.
ingredients. He's like, it's super healthy for you. And Gordon Ramsay's like, yeah, the expensive one's still good though.
yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really care about health, Gordon Ramsay. Like, there's the one vegan lady that attacked him. He's like, as a response, I want to eat this entire burger.
Yeah. He wrapped it in lettuce.
That is true. He wrapped it in lettuce.
Okay, well, so we talked about Chainsaw Man.
We got the anime topic
We
covered.
got their anime talk covered.
I watched more anime though.
yeah,
Oh, what
what
else
else
I
you
am
watched?
one episode behind because the episode just came out today or yesterday of Mob Psycho 100,
Nice.
Oh, okay.
and it's amazing. It's
Still
the
better
best.
than Chainsaw Man?
It is better than Chainsaw Man.
You
It's the best
filthy
thing airing
dirty
right
little-
now.
What?
I think Chainsaw Man is. I mean, not Chainsaw Man. I think Mob Psycho is actually perfect. Like at least the first season. I think it's a perfect show.
Are you saying this just because you're a fanboy, or you
No, I
like,
think it's legitimately
critically
perfect.
level?
He's
you're
a
making this?
fanboy. Seen the tattoo on his chest.
I think it's legitimately perfect. I think it's fine to not like it because it's got a very unique style, but I don't think it has any flaws.
So you're saying it's perfect for the
And
style in which it's trying
Yeah, like the
Okay, how
art itself.
the heck does something not have any flaws?
The art itself for the first season, in my opinion, is perfect. The later seasons, there are some things like season 2 kind of introduces a bunch of characters really fast sometimes. And there's like a few things that aren't like the pacing might be a little weird here and there or whatever. But like the first season just has none of that. It just doesn't feel like there's anything wrong with it, like ever.
The first season of any anime is good unless it's like a trash anime.
Yeah, but this one is like the first 3 episodes ends with this like really climactic like thing that happens, and it's super epic. And then 2 episodes later, another big epic climactic thing happens, and both of them feel really super earned. And you feel like you watched like a whole series, and then it's like this is 5 episodes in.
Sounds
it's
like
just-
work.
That's usually how
It's
Chainsaw
amazing.
Man, or not Chainsaw Man, but Mob Psycho goes.
I know.
I
Mob
mean,
Psycho's
season 1
amazing.
feels like that.
Yeah, that's what season 1 is. Season 2 is like that too. Season 2, I think it's a little bit less because it has a few things that happen in the beginning that are fine, and then it's got a big thing at the end. Season 3 goes back to like how season 1 was.
Yeah.
It's absurd, it's wacky. Okay, the latest episode just ended that I watched with they go to find aliens. This kid gets abducted by aliens. He gets it's kind of insinuated that he
Gets
becomes the
probed.
king
Oh.
of the
Alien.
aliens, and the queen is like yeah, he takes some food, gets like drugged, and like dances naked in front of aliens. They take him to, then he wakes up covered in like kisses, and he's like naked in a bed. He eventually is there so long he kind of learns how to communicate with the aliens and is able to get back to Earth. And like they let him come back because he's like this huge celebrity. Because they have this one predator that they never fought back against, and he just kicked it. So then after that, he got sent back to Earth and then kind of forgot most of what happened.
Huh, that seems very much like Mob Psycho.
It was
That just sounds
it
like my
was-
daily life.
It was an after credit scene of this really bizarre episode.
That's funny.
It was pretty epic.
I'm not arguing that. I mean, I have no doubts that Mob Psycho season 3 is great. 'Cause
It is
everything
great.
else has been great this year. I'm having a hard time thinking that it's flawless. There's
I
got to
don't know.
be something.
Season
up with-
3 might not be flawless, but season 1 I think is. I think season 1 is.
Okay, now you're going back on your word though. 'Cause
No,
you're
no,
saying
I'm
this is
saying
flawless.
Mob Psycho season 1 is perfect. Season 2 is really good, and season 3 is I think better than season.
I hear those
I don't
bicycle
know.
pedals pedaling back.
I don't know if season 3 is perfect yet. I still have to watch it all, but
All right.
so far it's really really good.
All right. Wow.
But season 1 is definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going back on the sentence of season 3 is perfect.
Yeah, no, season 3 isn't
Okay.
perfect. I don't think. Maybe it could be.
I don't think anything's
Depends on your point of
perfect.
view. I don't know. I just feel like there's nothing that you could change in season 1 to make it better.
What animes are even out this season?
This season, this
Yeah.
quarter, or like overall this year?
I think
This
the
season.
main ones are Bleach, Mob Psycho, Chainsaw Man. Blue Lock, which
Blue
is
Lock,
fine.
Shadow and Eminence.
Reincarnated as a sword.
That's a great
I want to watch
anime.
that one.
I
watched
I was
that one.
actually
It's
thinking of
amazing.
watching it. I'm normally not an isekai fan, but I watched like 5 minutes of it.
If it's
This isn't
anything
pretty
like,
good.
if it sticks to the manga, it's going to be amazing.
I don't know if it sticks to the manga yet, but I
I'm
watched
going
the
to
first
judge it
episode,
now.
and so far, it's great.
So instead of this, I'm going to watch it.
All I remember is I died and I was reincarnated in a fantasy world. No, not as the cat girl, the sword.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's great.
That starts out pretty much like the manga. All right, then yeah, I'm going to.
I still like the scene from Shadow and Eminence where he's just like monologuing about how great crowbars are as he's
That
beating
is,
these
yeah.
two people half to death with them.
Just like if a cop sees you with it, you can easily explain it away. And he's like, I used it as a tomfoot, and then I realized you can use it as a hook. He's just
Yeah.
like,
Dude, that.
that is so
Baka-Talk
sick.
does not advocate mafia activities.
What do you mean? Yes, I do.
But like legit, like this whole year of animes, everything from Edge Runners to I guess Arcane was technically this year as well, right?
Yeah,
Was Arcane even an anime or just an
No,
animated
Arcane's an anime.
series?
it's not technically an anime.
Technically not an anime, but a lot of people consider it anime.
It's made by Western people.
They consider Avatar: The Last Airbender to be an anime.
That's also not
Fair.
an anime.
I don't know. It's got that spirit of anime, so
Yeah, it Avatar is definitely anime inspired.
If it was
Yeah,
not
like-
oohed over, it is not anime.
But you have adaptations like that were great. You have Attack on Titan season 2.
Yeah.
Or I mean season
Season
4
four.
part
Part 2.
Two?
Yeah, Part 3 is coming out soon.
in 2023. You have
Spy Family
Evangelion,
did.
End of Evangelion.
Oh yeah,
That came out this year, right? Did it?
I don't remember.
Springtime, I think.
Yeah,
in the
video about
springtime,
it.
for sure. I honestly don't remember.
I'm just
I'm-
realizing that this season or like this like batch of anime has been incredibly graphic.
Yeah, it legit has.
Hey, Mob Psycho is very wholesome.
Yeah, but like Edge Runners and Chainsaw Man, although
Yeah.
Edge Runners is a lot more like gory and stuff than Chainsaw Man is.
I know Chainsaw Man's like gory, but it's not like. doesn't-
Chainsaw Man gets way more gory.
Yeah, I bet
More
it does.
goes on.
The latest episode was pretty gory, I guess. Like more than.
I mean, Edge Runners though is like, hey, this guy got shot in the head. Look at all those little bits.
Yeah, I feel like Chainsaw Man's gory, but it's stylized where it doesn't feel like gross, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's got so much that it's not like it's
Chainsaw Man is literally just fan fiction of Doom Guy's chainsaw.
I think the probably most like violent part of Chainsaw Man is the first episode where he's getting stabbed by the zombies.
That and the
Like-
Infinity Demon. Like when he's fighting that and just like
Yeah,
ripping it
it
apart
just-
and cutting it.
Yeah,
into
that's
it.
true too. That part's pretty intense. But like the stabbing, him getting stabbed to death felt so like realistically brutal
Yeah.
that it felt more like violent than him just like tearing through the
Right.
stuff like he
Yeah.
normally does.
So Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 released in 2021.
Okay,
So it didn't come out this year. But anyway,
that was yeah.
so yeah.
Spy Family's been pretty good.
Spy Family's been great. Both parts.
Have you
I mean,
Have you caught up to it?
Yes.
What's the last thing that happened?
Last thing. That the snow.
Yeah.
What do they call her?
Oh, that is funny because she's like, I'm totally better suited for this, but she's like in love with Lloyd, and then Anya's just like reading her mind, and being like, "What the heck?"
So this whole scene takes place. This lady is like just as good as Twilight, which they're both like really, really like top tier spies, right?
yeah,
She's like cold, heartless, shows no emotion, gets everything done without like breaking a sweat, no emotion type of character. And she's in love with Twilight, which is the husband in the spy family. And so she's talking to him using secret code while they're
Yeah.
having a normal conversation in the middle of the living room with his wife standing next to him. And she's like, "Oh, I should be your wife, and we should get rid of Yor and stuff like that." And Anya starts reading her mind, and as she's showing no emotion, nothing like that, and she's having this code conversation with Twilight,
Yeah.
and in her mind, she's just like, I love, was she?
I love you.
I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'm just like, what the heck?
She's just like in love with him, trying to play it off like she's gonna marry him for like total like
Yeah.
business reasons. And then Anya's like scared of her because she's like, oh, whip that girl into shape or whatever. And so Anya just runs over to Yor. It's like, I love you, mommy.
And starts just hamming it up.
Yeah.
Like, I love you
And
so much.
Then everyone is just always confused about why Anya is acting
Yeah.
so weird because they're like, this is all a secret conversation. They don't know what's going on. And
Right.
she's just like, okay, cool.
That's one of the anime that I've been meaning to watch.
Oh,
It's
it's
really
so
good.
good. It's like one of those anime that you can sit down and just relax.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not super like emotional or like hard to watch. It's just really fun.
Like you get a bunch of blankets, you sit on your bed, you get like a tea or hot chocolate,
You get a Dr. Pepper from the fridge.
Dr. Pepper from the fridge. You sit down and you just watch a couple episodes and you feel
Yeah.
refreshed.
Mainly from the Dr.
Oh,
Pepper.
see you guys.
I will say part 1 I like better than
Yeah.
part 2 so far. Part
I think
2
it's-
feels like it's doing a lot more world building.
Yeah, I think the newness of the concept too in part 1, where it's like all the things that all the jokes hit so well at first just because of the idea of her reading their minds
Yeah.
and like reacting to what they're thinking, what they're saying. So there's just a lot of like weird irony going on.
Yeah.
And then you kind of get more used to it. And so then they're like adding in more concepts and stuff. So it's a good show though.
There was a anime, and I can't remember the name of it. It came out this year that I started to watch that apparently was part of a major like Japanese sci-fi franchise.
Is it one of the Fate Nights?
Huh.
No, it wasn't one of the Fate Nights. It has no name relating to what it was. But like the main character, like he's like a superhero called the Common Rider. It's apparently a live action show normally, and they made
What?
an anime. Yeah,
Ah.
it's like Iriko Fyoji or something like that. It's got a name I can't pronounce.
Huh. That's
It
weird.
was actually pretty good for like a Power Rangers esque show.
Yeah.
It was good.
I think I heard of that. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
people are
it's
like
like-
really enjoying it.
It's like the main character's a detective.
Yeah.
I looked up superhero called the Common Rider, and I got Stan Lee and the writer behind a Muslim Marvel
Is it
superhero.
Futo P?
Yeah, that. Sorry for the muffled.
Yeah, it's a Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I started watching. That was pretty good.
That's cool.
That was my year's highlight of a unique thing. It's like, detective show, and then it like gives no warning of it, and then it's just like superhero show.
Yeah.
Like it starts out like the opening scene. You see like the Kamen Rider for a second. It's like, okay. In my mind, it's like, all right, this is gonna be like a supernatural detective show.
Yeah.
And then it's like it goes about being a detective show, and then it's just like second or third episode, like boom, superhero.
That's how I felt about Durarara when I first started watching it. Because
Mhm.
Oh,
you have a scene where a guy throws a refrigerator, and I'm like, okay, I can explain that away with it just being an anime, right? Like
Yeah.
the guys they want him to be super strong, but it's hard to show super strong without like them doing something crazy like that.
Yep.
Then the next episode, there's this lady with a cat helmet that's actually headless, and
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
a what do they call it? A Valkyrie, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
I forget what they call the actual name of them.
Dullahan.
Dullahan.
Duhan, yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, this show is just going like way off the rails.
I love
But
that
like the
show
first
so
like
much.
3 episodes is pretty normal.
Yeah, it just a bunch of weird stuff's happening in the background, and
Yeah.
then you learn more about it. It's just like, oh, there's just all this supernatural
Yeah,
stuff going
exactly.
on, along with the gangs and like.
Right. It's
so
not like a
much.
lot of other like fantasy or supernatural shows or even superhero
Yeah.
shows where it starts right off the bat. Like, I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into when you watch
Mhm.
Bakano.
Yeah.
Because like you see a kid get his head blown off and then just gets off the
Yeah.
next episode.
Yeah.
Like the kid gets his head blown off. It's like, anyway, on to the next thing.
Man, Durara is so much fun. Just like the
Yeah.
first couple episodes. And then you get moments where like Celti and Shizuo like team up, like the two strongest people in the city, like
Yeah.
are fighting through gangs of people and just
That is cool.
yeah. There's like people get mind controlled because of the supernatural sword. And,
Mind
like,
controlled. There's like this whole
it's, like,
thing with
gang
like
wars and,
head swapping and face swapping
Yeah.
and like
There's the sushi shop.
oh
su-
man,
yeah,
the
the
sushi
whole
shop
like
that just has tons of guns and ammunition in it.
ex-KGB
Yeah.
operatives and stuff.
And they're the most chill, like calm place. That like safest,
Yeah.
calmest place. It's great.
Okay, now I want to watch it.
Oh, it's such a
Oh,
good
it's so
show.
good.
I have like
It's-
the first two like of the manga.
Have,
Do you?
Yeah.
Have you seen Baka now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you need
Get out.
The-
I'll tell you
the
what.
story- The storytelling is so
Free.
cool because it doesn't tell it linearly in time or like story arcs.
Yeah.
So like it'll follow the first episode follows our protagonist entering the city and like he basically walks down the street and goes into a sushi shop is like all that
Yeah.
happens. The next episode is explaining how everything in the background happened at the same time. So you'll see him like in the background of the second episode as the characters are running past that he saw in the first episode.
Yep.
And it does that constantly. It constantly plays with time. It goes back and
So
forth.
it's the story of the city.
It's it's
basically.
the city is the main character. There are no like main characters. There's like kind of the main characters, and they're just gone for
Wait,
episodes.
are
at
you
a
talking
time.
about Bakano?
Durarara.
He's talking about Durarara.
Okay, because you said Bakano.
Oh, sorry.
You asked
the
him-
main
you
character.
asked
him if
he's
he's
seen
but
Bakano.
Bakano is the same way.
It's the same way, but
it's styled
yeah,
a bit different. Isn't it styled differently than what
it's
he's talking about?
styled differently in the
little
way
bit
that they
different,
have
yeah.
so many different characters, and they don't. There's parts where they're all met up,
Yeah.
but then there's also parts where they're all separate, and they show them out of arc and out of different times.
I would say like each episode has 3 different
Yeah.
time
as-
eras.
Yeah.
They do organize it that way, but even the time eras are different sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even split it up because they'll go backstory and like
Yeah. Some of them will be back
They'll go
from
back
the
to the
17th
1700s.
century.
Yeah.
exactly.
And then they'll go backstory from the 17 like story.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then you're like in a backstory in a backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh
wild.
Lord, it's 17th century literature.
it only happens for like, I don't know, technically a whole episode's worth.
And then you
Yeah.
start piecing it together like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The
see-
story spoils the biggest moments in like the first episode.
Yeah.
And you forget about them by the time you get back to it. And then you're like,
That kid's head
"Oh."
did get blown
Durarara
off.
technically does the same thing.
Yeah, it
See,
does.
You guys say that, and I have flashbacks to 8th grade reading an old book called Don Quixote, where
Oh.
literally in one part it's a person recanting their story about meeting 2 people, and in his story, those 2 people recant their stories separately and then together, and
Yeah.
it's like a backstory and it's like Inception with backstory.
That is kind of how Durarara is because it constantly switches perspective and goes all over the place. And Bakano, both of them do that, and it's
I would
great.
say I almost like Bakano more
I
than Durarara.
Yeah, I
This
think
is my
Bakano
world.
is
I didn't
overall
exist. No one else
a
would.
better story because Durarara gets boring for at least 2 episodes in every season.
Yeah.
Like each arc, it gets to this point where it's just like nothing's happening, and then stuff goes down, and
Yeah.
then it goes back. So, but it's still they're both really interesting and very unique.
They're made by the same creator, right?
Yep.
Yeah, which makes sense because it's the same exact storytelling wise.
I think Bakano is a little bit more like structured, kind of like it feels more.
it's so structured that the legit devil explains why the story was written out.
Yeah.
It also explains why they're not giving you an ending.
Yeah, the ending thing is so awesome where it's like, so who's the main character? And it's like, there are no main characters. It's just the lives and the interactions between people and all this stuff going on.
Hey, Isaac.
I love that.
Yes, Miriam. Why haven't we aged, do you think? Since...
Yeah.
oh, it must be our birthday every day. Wow.
And they're like,
Have you
hippies.
noticed we haven't started aging? Oh no, it must be the cell phone signals. Put on your hat.
Yeah.
We must take the cell phones from everybody.
Not a big spoiler, but there's a spoiler where a couple of the characters. This all takes place in the early 1900s.
Mhm.
No, 20th century. Yes,
Yeah.
20th century.
Yeah, early 90s.
But then part near the end, they do jump forward to 2 of the characters where it's in the future, like
Like
Mhm.
2000.
2000.
2001, I think. It
which
was.
is actually
Yeah, I
links
think
directly
so.
to Durarara
Yeah.
because they're actually in Durarara.
Oh,
There's a scene
yeah,
or
they
two.
are. They're in the back.
So, but anyways, they jump forward to it and they just finally realize that they don't age anymore. And they're like, it must be that newfangled technology. Turn off your phone and put on your hat. And they put on a tinfoil hat.
And proceed to take everyone else's phone.
Yeah, and they become like
It's okay, Maria,
hippie
we're saving them.
conspiracy theorists. Yeah.
Because they just figured out they're not aging.
It's so good.
Like, it's a good show. Like, that is peak fiction.
It's
Right.
so good, yeah.
Like,
It's just so much fun to watch. The insanity.
yeah.
I may have to buy the rest of the Durara manga.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
draw. I don't know how the manga relates to the anime, but it might go better because you could probably read through the boring parts quicker.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It usually just there's so many character arcs and stuff that are going on, so you might not like one and it'll be kind of a drag for a while. And then you
Yeah.
get to the ones that you do like, and it's just I don't know. It's
That's
a
most comics for me. I'm like,
wild
I don't
story.
want to read about this guy. Oh, this guy's here. Okay.
yeah. It does that a lot. And
Yeah.
sometimes you won't like a character for a while and then you'll learn more about him and like him. Other times you learn more about him, you hate them more because they're like freaking obsessed with their sister or something.
Like
Last
Top Knot.
like
Not that obsessed with his sister, but just like not like him.
last experience I had like that, I read was the Elder Scrolls novel, and it was like an agent, and I didn't like him at first, and then he became my favorite character, and then promptly died.
Oh yeah.
He was like a
The Lost
spy.
Jedi-
When he's
Going
trying to
in
figure
there.
out the whole thing with the Umbra City.
Yeah, and then he gets like killed by a freaking city official.
Yeah. Oh, that sucked. I did like that character too. I know what you're talking about because he was like a snotty
Yeah, he
nobleman.
starts out snooty, and then it's like you find out why like he's
Yeah.
doing what he's doing. It's like, holy mackerel, this guy's a spy.
Yeah, it is so good.
That's how Full Metal Alchemist was for me. It was like,
Or-
oh, this guy's now my favorite character.
That's how Ruby was for me.
Oh, yeah.
You
what's
mean
her
until Weez fixed it?
Yes, we fixed Ruby.
Yeah.
It's the only Ruby I'll ever watch. Why isn't the background rendering?
I don't know. I happened to me and Gurren Lagann as well. Where I'm just like, I love this
Oh,
main
yeah.
character, and then he's
And then
dead. And I'm
dies.
just like, dang it. Do I even want to watch this show anymore?
And Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer, yeah.
So on that note,
So many characters.
What?
is it the AD time?
Break time.
AD time?
Ad time.
Oh yeah, I guess we can do one of those. Sure.
The breakdown.
Add time. And we're back.
So we were just talking, and we discovered that Chainsaw Man is the ultimate anti-fan service show.
So
Yeah.
far, no fan service.
Like none. Like even when there's nudity and there's kissing and there's possible sex, it's like it's normal.
yeah, it's
But there is the bikini scene of power in the
Okay,
intro.
that's
Okay,
true.
that's the
That is
only
fan
bit of
service.
fan service. But
But-
here's the thing: that serves another purpose. It's zooming in on her breast, and then it zooms off to Dingy walking on the beach with a collar on.
That's sounding pretty kinky to me.
That's my argument with High School DxD.
so okay.
Purposely,
That's
fan service.
See-
it's part of the show.
That
but then
has
the-
you know-
nothing
no.
to do with
But
what we're
then-
talking about.
But then the title
No.
cards come in out of nowhere and it pulls you out of the immersion, and that's when it's like, no.
Yeah,
that
so-
show legit is 90% of the main
No,
character
no.
trying to watch the girls naked.
No,
That's
I will
part of the
sta-
actual show. though.
I'll
That's
stand by
fan
Pyrolus,
service.
even though I've never seen the show. I know there's a succubus in the show, so it's not fan service. It's just the
It's
character.
part of the show. It's part
Oh,
of the
God.
world. That's
You
how the
can't
world,
be on his side.
That's how the world of High School DxD
Yeah, see,
works.
Chainsaw
I got you,
Man-
buddy.
Chainsaw Man's different though because it doesn't have sexual things in it because it's the world. It has
It's
sexual
the
things in
people.
it because it's part of the actual story
Yeah.
and growth of the characters.
Yeah.
Like Denji learns things and is going through these things and then they're all like awful and he's getting like these consequences for like his
like
desires
even
and
when
stuff.
Makima is basically seducing him, which
Yeah.
is actually kind of awkward now that I think about it. But anyway,
Because she's like 30.
yeah. But even when that's happening, it's like him learning another aspect of life.
Yeah. Like he has his dream and then he accomplishes his dream and realizes it was empty and meaningless and it wasn't enjoyable at all.
Yeah.
And so then he's like, am I just going to keep striving for my dreams that I'm going to accomplish and then they're going to be empty and then I'll just strive for the next one?
That's a good point.
Like,
Okay,
it's such a good story because
In-
of that too.
in
That's life,
DxD,
sucker.
Yeah.
the character, all I can think about is boobs. And
Yeah.
wanting to touch boobs.
Yeah.
Dingy, for the first part of it, all he wants to do is touch boobs.
Yeah.
there's a solid line difference between Dingy, he just wants to have a happy life, and the other characters being a perverted moron.
Issei also wants a happy life, and once he touches them, he's also like, well, what now? And that's when his dragon arm was like, why don't you just go further? And he's like, oh, that's right. They're basically the same character, just in a
Gosh
different...
dang it, this backfired. This is not right. There's
Basically
no
the same
way.
thing.
There's no way DXD.
Pyro-
See,
is-
DXD is the
is
light side.
The worst take.
Chainsaw Man is the dark side.
No.
Chainsaw Man is the good. Is
DXD is amazing. You're just not realizing it until Chainsaw Man came out.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas I've realized it the entire time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just remember one time hanging out with Pyrolus, and even though it was a hard pass for me, he was like, hey, just want to like rag on trashy anime. I'm like, I'll pass. As we're just walking out in a state forest.
Then we talked about how we would get isekai because we found a gate that was unlocked
In the middle of the woods.
So we walked past there.
Interesting.
There's also the part where we were driving to Michigan, then we hit Kentucky somehow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Weird crap happens when Pyrolus and I are together.
No, hang on a
This
second.
is why I can't join
No.
the service, because if I went with Pyrolus, we'd just immediately be into like, so you are now part of like this contingency group
How?
to contain
No,
this,
hey,
like,
how were you
Russian
driving
plague.
through Michigan and then pass through 2 states and then end up in Kentucky?
vodka does some strange things, my friend.
But
That
we got
would-
back within the span of 30 minutes.
What?
boom.
What?
Star Wars Rebels. There's my explanation.
Space whale.
How
No,
does
not,
that explain
not space whales.
anything?
Wolves.
Frick the wolves.
Wolves.
Frick
No,
the
please
wolves.
don't.
Portals
the wolf.
through the planet. Wolves and portal planets. That's the
We don't
explanation.
live on a portal planet.
How do
We
you
do
know?
now.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe we do live
Maybe
on a
we
portal
do.
planet.
Maybe when you dig to the center of the earth, there's just a portal that sends you to the other side of the earth.
It's a Stargate. There's a Stargate in the center of the earth.
Let's
Maybe
go.
the world is flat, but there's portals on the edges that just transport you to the underneath side.
It's just the video game Splitgate. Just like you blip through, flip. Whoa!
And the Bermuda Triangle is where like the portals are like screwed up, and that's why things.
No,
are
that's the
messed up
portal
there.
off world.
Yeah.
About Splitgate, I'm
That's what I
upset you
mean. The
can't put
portals
the
are
portals
screwed up
anywhere.
there.
I'm upset you can't put the portals
Yeah,
anywhere.
that would have been an interesting aspect because that would have just made campers even more of an appealing target.
Dude, it would have been beautiful. You could like have one on the wall and one on the ceiling. Like anyone that walks underneath, they're like just
You can technically
And just-
still do that.
You can.
kind of.
It just
but
has
not
to be in
really.
certain places.
That's what I
It's-
mean,
It
it's a
follows the
certain
same
place.
mechanics as actual portal.
But you can't put it on the roof.
Some
They
spots
can.
you can.
I've never been.
I
able to
sniped
put
a guy through a roof portal once.
Yeah,
No, I mean like ceiling looking down.
it has to be
I haven't-
it has to be the right type of like.
They did
Material.
that so you didn't have like that one person that was like perfectly hidden to where you couldn't hit them.
Hmm.
Because I actually happened and like there's a map with these 2 big
Hmm.
towers, and I was on the ground, blipped a portal above him, he blipped a portal by me, and we're just firing through the portals at each other.
Hmm.
So yeah, video game that no one plays anymore.
I still
that,
play it
like,
occasionally.
it came out right when
Halo Infinite. came
Halo
out.
Infinite came out, and it's basically just Halo.
It's free,
Yeah.
and
It's
you have
free.
portals.
I just found out a sad thing the other day online that apparently people think that team deathmatch games are like outdated.
What?
Yeah.
I like Team Deathmatch.
That's the
That's why
only
they don't-
mode I
Still-
like.
That's why they don't include it. in
Call
most games.
Call of Duty still comes out.
Yeah.
Like,
But they, you know what? It's like Doom Eternal. They didn't put in it. They're like, it's dated and no one plays it.
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
the
That's basically how
developers
Call of
being
Duty is
idiots.
based around. Like
I played Damnation or Domination the other day on a game, one of those modes where you had to like hold the area.
Yeah,
Mm.
Shadow.
Though that mode is outdated
Yeah.
because mechanics have gotten way too good for you to actually be able to like push anybody off the area.
yeah.
No, we were playing Shadowline and play that team deathmatch, and that was intense.
Okay, that was team deathmatch though. That wasn't the Domination.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't like those type. I don't like capture the flag type modes. Those are stupid.
I like Capture. the
I
Flag,
like
personally.
Capture the Flag.
Get the
I-
warthog,
the
get the
thing I
flag,
don't-
drop back.
The reason I like a lot of like capture objective based modes more than deathmatch is a lot of times deathmatch you never really know where the enemy is, so you get shot in the back a lot.
Yeah.
That's always kind of annoying. So I like more like, here's the objective. I know everyone's gonna be going after this, so I can like plan
See,
out.
You
what
know
I'm
what
gonna
I
do.
like?
I like free.
I am used to the granddaddy games of like Quake Live, where a 40-year-old man snipes you from across the arena at some obscure angle with a railgun because you looked on your map at the flag.
One of the game modes I just discovered I like is Plant the Bomb, where you have no respawns. You have a set number of like your squad mates, and you have to plant the bomb where you have to protect the area.
I don't see CS:GO anywhere on your roster of
It's on
games.
Shatter Lines.
Did
or-
they have that?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I had put two and two together the other day when we were playing and realized that like you've been playing it for a while now.
Yeah, I'm like a level 25 or something.
Ah.
Yeah.
ESO
Nice.
go.
I'm just trying to make my P90 pink in Call of Duty.
I'm glad you finished that because you said P. and
yeah,
I'm
I
like,
was
wait
I
a
was waiting for a
second.
different thing.
I'm like, this is
Calm
not-
down, guys. I'm a man of innocence and firearms.
You're P90.
Yeah.
In what?
Call of Duty.
Oh, right. You have Call of Duty. Oh,
That's
yeah.
fine.
You got Call of Duty.
Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
Because my military friends play it.
Alright, fair
That makes
enough.
sense.
Yeah.
Is that
You
where
should
they
be
get
playing
people to buy it?
Arma.
I do play Arma. I've got Arma 3. Another thing that I got into the military lifestyle because of
I
Paula.
almost bought Arma 3 the other day, and I was like, I'm gonna get drafted if I play this.
Call
only
of
thing with Arma
Duty
3
is
is you gotta
the
be careful 'cause
Marvel
you need
movies
DLCs
of
for
video
it.
games.
They
DLCs
are.
for all
They
that stuff.
legit
They're
are.
all the same. They're all like decent, and they sell a lot.
The only thing is Call of Duty's $90 when it releases. Then a month later, it's $30.
Yeah.
And it's like, so
And
you
then it
tell me
goes,
I
like,
spent $100 on
But
this
then
now
you
it's
have
$30.
But then you have entries like Black Ops 2 that are still $50.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
game's so good.
There's like the good one every once in a while.
I am excited that they brought back like legit story mode though. I do want to play.
That is
Modern
cool.
Warfare
I wish
2.
they had done different characters
Yeah.
because of the fact that Modern Warfare already ran through the original characters,
Yeah.
and like the story itself is good, but the fact that they were too lazy to make to make new characters, just had to do a cash grab,
Yeah.
go for old characters that are already established and just change. Like they retconned the entire original Modern Warfare story.
To be honest, I didn't realize that most war games even had a story.
Yeah. Well, you have like Call of Duty Ghost.
Mhm.
They need to finish that.
Yeah,
Like
they do.
legit, they need to finish that. They have was it Advanced Warfare?
Yep.
The one where you had the exoskeleton.
Yeah.
I want to see them like expand that story as well.
Except for I thought that one bombed.
They didn't like.
A lot of people didn't like it because of double jumping. Basically, kids
Yeah.
would get on it and just double jump the entire time, and it annoyed the more mature audience.
That's called you get good at the game.
Oh, people did. They really did.
Like, that's the thing that annoys me anymore about video games is rather than just have it be that thing, like it used to be like FPS games, the bunny hop just was a thing.
Yeah.
Because physics.
You each met each other in the same part of the map, and you just hop around and you until
Shoot
somebody
each other.
dies.
But now it's, oh, someone did that. I don't like it. So change the whole game.
Yeah.
And it's just, I get sick of that. Stick with your formula of a game. Stop trying to make or break the new biggest thing and just refine what you have. Stop
is-
listening to the people that complain about every time their fart doesn't be the lilacs.
that
And
is
just be true to yourself as a
thing.
video game developer.
there are
Developers
old
aren't
games
creative anymore.
where you're like, if they just took this same like concept of this game, but just updated it and tried to make it like
Give us some
more-
shiny graphics.
just make the like you already have your base of the combat, just make it better, add like a few things or whatever. Don't try to revamp the entire system. Just you have a really good idea, just continue it.
Yeah.
But then they're like, no, we gotta make
Well-
this like so different. It's like we always get level 1 basic stuff that doesn't improve over time. If you make like a lot of times you'll get like Uncharted 1 and Uncharted like 5, the combat's way better in the later games because it's just the same kind of thing. They just
figure out the
they just-
speed for
yeah,
animations
they're
and
just
stuff.
making it better. And like Smash Bros and stuff does that too, where it's like each game is a little bit differently, works a little bit differently, and they're trying to like improve it as they go. And stuff like that makes sense instead of like, I don't know, there's some old games where it's like, this is a really cool concept. Why don't they just make a new version
That
of
was
this?
the thing. I keep going back to it because I see so much stuff about it, like with Doom Eternal. Doom literally is a series that brought team death matches,
Yeah.
all of that. and for them to just throw it out and just be like,
Yeah.
I seen a thing where they're like, why it should have a battle royale and it will fit to the lore. And it's like, get away from my game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like everything's going so online multiplayer now. It's like there's no big
You
like we
can't-
have really good AI. That's like not a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, you can't. This is what I miss in games. Like, if you want to do a deathmatch, right? I want to hop online with just Boom, right?
yeah.
And then we load up the game with about 3 to 4 other like bots that are like super advanced.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then just play.
Yeah.
I remember the days when nobody had internet when they were playing on their Xbox, so you would just get the newest Call of Duty game. You and your friends would just see
Crank
how
the
hard
bots.
you could beat the bots.
Yeah.
Like, can we beat the hardest bots? Can we beat the normal
Yeah.
bots?
The
yeah,
biggest
I
issue-
remember you and I and your brother doing that and getting really good at the game.
Yeah.
Well, now, like, I brought my computer, my mom's where I'm staying right now. No internet at all.
Yeah.
Half my games I can't play because they don't have
Yeah.
internet access. So
Yeah.
they can't verify with the internet service that I bought the game.
Because of DRM. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's so stupid. It's like I paid $60 for this game, and just because I don't have internet, I all of a sudden can't play it.
Well, it's like Ubisoft the other day started shutting down servers for old games because the player base dropped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You can't play those games
And now
anymore.
they just don't
Yeah.
exist. Yeah.
So it's like a whole. I've heard a lot of people been saying this. A whole generation of gaming is disappearing.
Well, it's like I've always advocated for physical copies because of this.
Mhm.
I never liked the Switch
But
digital.
here's
I've
the
never been
thing.
with it.
Even physical copies. If
well, the operating
I
systems
wanted to
on the
play Skyrim,
Mhm.
okay, if I wanted to play Skyrim, I had this trouble when I first got Skyrim because we had dial-up internet when I first got Skyrim. That's how like in the boonies my house was. I'm saying that to the audience, not you guys. You know
Yeah.
where I live. Anyways, so I tried installing Skyrim and I had just beat Oblivion, right? Oblivion, you put in the disc, you install it on the computer,
you put the code
you play
in,
it, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. They need to go back to that style of system.
Yeah.
Because they can do that. We have Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray
But
disc can hold up
here's
to
the
80
thing.
gigabytes of data.
Most of the games nowadays, even if you have a hard copy, like Skyrim, you have to download Steam.
No, that's what I mean though. Like they should be back to disc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like State of
I
Decay.
mean, you could even go to the step of just literally having a drive that you buy.
like
it's just
State of
like-
Decay.
Yeah, a lot of people are joking that the next Call of Duty game is going to come on a terabyte drive for you.
I mean, with what they're doing with games, it honestly might come to that where you buy a $60 drive that's just formatted.
When
for
you
that
could put
game.
a terabyte SSD or SD card, mini SD card into your phone, then you should be able to put like games on
Nintendo's
that.
way ahead with cartridges.
They
You
kind of
just-
are.
You just buy a cartridge that has the game and all the space you need to play the game. You
Yeah.
put the cartridge in your device.
no,
mean,
it
they've
doesn't have all
honestly-
the space you need.
Well, that's what you'd have to do. Is you have to make a cartridge that has all the space. You need.
Right.
Basically, it has like a secondary on board.
Yeah,
Like
like
old
like
Nintendos used to be that way.
it's basically a hard drive or like a flash drive
Yep.
with a bunch of space. and the
Nintendo
game on it.
64, a lot of games were like that. They'd save right to the cartridge.
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
Most games, if you gave 500 gigabytes, like a 500 gigabyte drive right now
Yeah.
costs
Well, you
like
could.
$100.
Mhm.
So that's
Well, you're
like
talking
not-
about SSD and normal hard drives, like more like 20.
yeah, but you can't give away games on a hard drive. The hard drive is too fragile.
Well, like some kind of drive or like.
Well, it'd have to
something.
be an SSD.
I mean, that's what they used to be on Nintendo 64 cartridges and stuff. They were basically just an onboard hard drive.
Nope,
Yeah, in a
they're
way.
all solid state.
Were they?
Yes,
Oh,
any cartridge game that you get is solid state.
did they have solid state in the 90s?
Flash memory, yeah.
Okay.
There's a battery in Game Boy games, like a legit like watch battery, that would keep it powered on to keep your saves.
See, that would be the other thing too. They could do something like that if they just went back to the old thing of limit how many freaking saves were on a thing instead of, hey, here's this autosave function you can't shut off.
Yeah, that is kinda
Like
annoying.
I've been playing Cyberpunk. There's no way to shut off. At least that I found the autosave. So it's like it stacks about 30 autosaves before piling them all into your last save.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like even if they didn't have it on a cartridge, you could like I was saying earlier with State of Decay, you could everything was on the disc. You installed it from the disc,
Yeah.
but you could still have it onto Steam.
Yeah.
So it could have the option where either you install it to the computer, or if you'd have internet and stuff, you can save it to Steam. That way you have Steam to manage all your games and stuff.
Yeah.
But they don't give you the option thing anymore. They just kind of force you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's a problem with PC gaming anymore.
I mean,
That's a problem with any game.
Or
Like
yeah,
Xbox
I guess
One,
all of them you have to
Xbox
download.
One won't even function on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was that amazing PlayStation commercial where they're like, here's what happens if you want to like play a game. It's like, open the container, put the disc in. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
play the game.
Yeah.
But with PlayStation, even though don't you still have to have internet for it?
No,
No.
you can play without internet.
if you have a disc, you can plug it. You can put in the disc, and I think it'll do a small update if
Yeah.
it has it available.
A lot of times there's updates and stuff, but for the
But,
most part,
like-
you can.
Oh, I always thought you had to install it on them.
I think you might have to copy the game to your PlayStation or something. I'm not
It
sure.
does,
So it treats
It
it like
installs
old school
it in the
computer games.
background.
Yeah.
because me and my brother were messing around with our PS4 when we first got it, and we found out that you could play games without the disc in it.
Mhm.
So
That was
So
optional for PlayStation 3 too. You could download the disc.
yeah, I think in the PS4 though it does in the background.
No, I know. I'm saying
Yeah,
it was
so you
optional
could
for
still
PS3.
keep playing and have it.
I don't remember.
do it.
Maybe you had to choose to download it to
Yeah.
the system, but
I don't know. Every time I've looked at a PS4, I'm like, I'm confused. I'm gonna go back to the computer.
yeah.
Proceed to pull up giant list of different things.
Like
Computer, you have a problem now of you have so many different launchers that you almost forget what games you actually own.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when you have them all open, you're scrolling through each one and you're just like, the heck do I play? I have so many, like, they give me free games, so much of them. I don't know what to play.
How
Like-
about this? The fact that every launcher treats the quality of the game differently.
Yeah.
Like I bought a game off GOG, whatever that stands for, I don't remember.
Good old games.
I bought a game called Dusk.
Mhm.
And when it first came out, there was a lot of multiplayer and stuff.
Yeah.
Steam, because it was an indie game, didn't see it fit to keep the multiplayer updated because like, oh, it's an indie game. No one will ever play
Oh.
it. So it had this weird lapse of when if you bought it on Steam, you couldn't do it. Like you could log into multiplayer, but
Yeah.
you couldn't play it.
Yeah.
But on GOG, they actually kept it updated and stuff so you could play it.
Gotcha. Well, GOG is actually one of the good, like, I mean, I'm not saying that Steam's bad, but like GOG actually has like a decent
it's at least better for older games.
like mission plan because they're there to
Preserve.
games and also try to get those games free of any DRMs,
Yeah.
which is one thing with Cyberpunk or CG Project Red, which technically I think is either partnered with or owns part of GOG or vice versa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they always have like non DRM games. Like there's no DRM on those games.
Okay.
As
so
far as I know,
you have
this
no
is-
internet, you can still play and
Yeah,
stuff.
I could be wrong about this. I'm sure people let me know in the YouTube comments and stuff. So
No, I miss it. Like back when I was younger, I would out of scrap PC parts, I built me a computer, my brother a computer.
Yeah.
And I forced him to play Age of Empires and Halo against me
yeah,
because I had an old Switch. I connected together to some Ethernet
Yeah.
cables I made with apparently the wrong sequence, but I didn't know that until I hit school. But I still put them together.
was it
and
the
did that.
wrong sequence or was it just the sequence nobody uses?
It was the wrong one because there's type A and
Oh.
type B. Yeah, I went way off the wall with whatever I
Okay.
did.
But it
Like,
worked.
my teacher was surprised that it worked, but it did.
Because there's type A,
Mm.
but then there's also a different way to do type
There's
A.
type A and type B.
Yeah.
Because type A goes like white, orange, orange. Basically, the only thing that switch around between type A and type B is where green and brown go.
Yeah, because isn't one supposed to be like a ground wire?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's data transfer, but it's I don't know. It's weird. I don't do Ethernet. I do regular electronic wiring.
I did Ethernet. I still do Ethernet when I'm bored. I got Cat 6 in my basement.
Wait, when you're bored, what? You just legit just like terminate cat like Ethernet
When
cables
I
or
when I get
something?
my equipment together, yeah. If I got nothing else to do, I'm like, all right, how big of a cable we making this time?
I just imagining Pyrolus instead of knitting or something like that. He's just like
Just making
terminating
cable.
Ethernet cables. It's like, look at this,
I don't
Sonny.
know.
I made a 70-footer for you.
It's relaxing. Oh no, it's like you measure it, you cut it, you crimp it.
I
Then
mean,
you go and
I like
test it.
I like doing wiring.
Is that a thing? That has to be a thing in like Cyberpunk of like an old granny with like outdated technology, but it's some like cyber enhancement that she's just like
Instead of
putting
electric,
together instead of knitting.
electric like pirate like wire strippers or anything. She's like using old fashioned like hand ones and
Yeah,
stuff.
just like
So-
puts it on and it's like, there, I can see better now.
So far, the only thing I found like that was a guy that had an implant and his junk almost blew off.
Oof. But I know,
That's
so like
funny.
I've tried to play StarCraft with my brother a few times because like on the disc StarCraft you can just like what I love is StarCraft on the disc. A lot of games back then for the computer, you installed it and you could reuse the disc on another computer and
Yeah.
like play
Yeah,
against
so
each other.
people could play together.
Yeah. So but StarCraft 2, while it's free, you need internet to play it. Even if it's
Right.
on the same internet,
Yeah.
you still have to use the internet to play. So if you're on the same network, you have to use their servers to play, which
Yep.
means if you have sucky internet like me and my brother did, you're lagging every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Despite being on the same network.
Yep.
Woo, internet. I mean, we're also talking about the same world where there are like sneakers out there with Bluetooth in them for no functional purpose.
Yeah, but even playing like devil's advocate, we're complaining about games and internet, but like the main source, the main way we actually get entertainment nowadays is through internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we didn't have internet right now, would any of us be able to afford like watching TV shows?
I can tell you exactly what would
Be
happen.
free.
If I didn't have internet, I would just like every time when I'm working on my game, probably get about 10 chapters done in it every day.
Yeah.
If I didn't have internet,
Be in shape. Have more to do with my family and friends.
right now at my mom's, I don't have internet at all. Like my service is kaput there. I'm just working on the basement. I've gotten much more done than because everyone else there has service except me. Not in all honesty, they just kind of sit on the couch, do stuff, and I'm over here like slaving away. Like, all right, I got the garage clean, I got the front room
All
clean.
All right,
every-
Ramen Cat. I got a proposition for you.
Hmm.
Do you want to do a no internet challenge?
My girlfriend would probably mutilate you because we couldn't talk then.
Sounds like you're just copping out then.
No. I'm just telling you what would happen.
Okay, you can text your girlfriend, and I can use it for work purposes, which is just editing and podcast,
I
That's
would
what you
like
use
to-
your internet for already.
watching anime.
I would like to proposition as well,
That
except
still
for we
works.
are also allowed to use the internet for like if you don't know what you're doing, you can Google stuff.
Nope,
What do you mean?
nope.
You want me
have
to
go
work on a car without
You
knowing
have to
what
go
I'm
to the
doing?
library and get a manual.
You do realize that the Subaru XT is not a very popular model of vehicle, right?
You do realize that you're all saying that you'd be better off without the internet. So
No,
I'm
I'm
just saying
saying-
I actually do more when I don't have.
I'm saying
like,
I do
power
more
in
when I don't
general.
have the distractions.
right, so you're saying you'd be all like better off in that way because you'd be able to get.
No,
more
it's
done.
still a tool. Like I'm saying, using it as a tool is great. It's an amazing tool.
right,
The thing is, when you let the tool overtake your life, that's when it becomes an issue.
right.
Like morphine.
yep.
I'm serious, like morphine. Morphine is a great painkiller, but the moment you get addicted to it, it ruins your life. Same thing with the internet. It's an amazing tool, but the moment you let it suck you in, it just destroys everything.
No, I get that. I mean, I'm the one that deleted all social medias and YouTube off.
You know,
Exactly,
social
so-
media is especially cancerous.
It is, yeah.
Internet's bad or whatever.
They're designed
social
to death
media
scroll.
is
Mhm.
actually yeah.
Well, that's because for the most part, it was controlled, as we saw with what was going on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like your interactions, everything were just controlled and manipulated.
So
Yeah.
nobody
about a
wants to
certain
do
way.
my no internet challenge with me then?
As long as
No.
I can use it as a tool the way it's meant to be.
No. Okay.
I
Okay.
can't do it. I can't do anything without internet.
Yeah, his
Can't-
life is
I
legit
can't
built
live
around
without
internet.
internet.
well,
I need to scroll Twitter for 3
the challenge
hours.
would be you could still
See, here's
use it
the
for
thing.
work.
I have to have internet too to work on my game, to like work on maps and stuff.
You can
too.
do that, but no.
But
fun
YouTube
stuff.
is next
So-
to it.
I can still
Exactly. That's the thing. No fun stuff.
So I can still use my phone to Google stuff when I got my XT going on.
You know what? Sure,
All right, then I'm in.
but you're cheating because you just have no internet access as it is. So
But I'm gonna be moving back to where internet access is.
okay.
Hear me out. No fun challenge. Whenever you start doing something and it's fun, you just have to make it miserable.
You just whip yourself.
That's
Yeah.
Just
Oh no,
every
I'm playing Call of
day?
Duty. Guess I gotta take a shot of vodka every time I die. Oh no, look at all the no fun.
It's supposed to be no fun.
See, he
not
said-
get knocked.
He says no fun, and I would still be productive because, like, well, I guess I'm drawing today.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're enjoying the drawing.
I guess I'm writing today.
Yeah. If you're enjoying the drawing, you're like, oh no, I have to stop. I have to go write something now.
I will say I have
If you do no internet, you better be going to visit your family every day,
I can't afford that.
or staying with them, or just hang out at
I
my
could not
place.
handle that. I would need the internet.
Boom is just gonna be doing
You
push-ups.
should just hang
and
out at
working
my
the
place all
entire
day or
time.
something.
It's gonna be like prison for Boom. He's just gonna push-ups, pull-ups,
We're gonna
sit-ups.
come back next week, and he's just gonna be
jacked.
ripped. Yeah,
Just a 9-pack like
He's-
Batman.
he's
I'm
like
just gonna look
5
like
inches
Adam
taller
Smasher.
too.
Thought you said no internet.
He's
Cybernetic
got a
upgrades our
full-on
internet.
beard.
I said no internet. I didn't say I couldn't become the internet.
He becomes like those internet like influencer people. It's like, this is my new job now.
I will say I
I'd
didn't
s-
complete the sentence, but like I'll say at deleting social media and YouTube and stuff off my phone, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew I was addicted. I didn't realize how much my brain would get messed up in certain situations because there's certain times. So like, okay, I do a lot of calls at work, right? And a lot of customer service complaint calls.
Mhm.
So they're stressful. So I didn't realize I would use looking at my phone for a couple like
It's like a
seconds
stress relief.
to decompress after a phone call.
Yeah,
I catch myself today. I caught myself 3 times. Every single time I got off the phone, I would like breathe heavy, like breathe out, and then I'd turn on my phone. I'm like, wait, there's nothing here to look at.
Now he's
Yeah.
addicted to
Yeah.
nicotine.
See, now that
And now I have
that's
drugs.
actually a thing. A lot of
I'm
people that get like accomplish things is like they don't cut the internet out. They just don't do social media.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
literally all they do. They just cut out social media. Like, I have no idea what's going on in the world. I have
Well,
YouTube
as
for
it is,
entertainment.
I always use the
Yeah.
excuse that I need Twitter on my phone because of the podcast, right? But I don't tweet random things. I only tweet for the podcast.
You should
Yeah.
just tweet
So,
when we're
that's why I
getting
have my
ready to do the
desktop computer.
podcast.
Well, that's what I did. I just tweeted today.
Yeah.
I actually forgot to promote the podcast. Oh shoot.
yeah.
I forgot to do something. Anyways. But yeah, we are all addicted to the internet. And I don't know why we're talking about this on an anime podcast for 90% of the
Because
people
you are
streaming
all
it.
addicted, and you need
Because
to
I'm pretty
get
sure
help.
anime artists are just like strictly forbidden from using
But
the
you
internet.
know what? Actually watching an anime season is, I would say, at least 50 times more productive than just staring at stupid
is.
YouTube videos.
Yep.
Yeah. Because at least you have like a story.
Like, it's one thing if you're watching a YouTube video on how to take out an engine in a Subaru or something like that. But it's another thing to watch top 5 cringiest TikTokers
Yeah.
video or something
Yeah.
like that.
That's why the only YouTube I watch, if it's not instructions, like General Sam or something.
Storytelling entertainment, I think, is actually beneficial.
Yeah.
Like,
That's usually like when
It's
I get
good.
on YouTube, it's a lot of times I'll put on like somebody that like is reading.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah.
Let's Read is one of my favorites. I'll put him on the background. Only if he's doing a live stream usually.
Yeah.
Or I put on like anymore. I've been doing watching a lot of historical stuff and like science stuff and just putting it off to the background. And
Yeah. A lot of the main YouTube I watch is just tech YouTube. So they're talking about like the latest like technologies and devices and stuff that come out. So
you can't fool me. I heard the Weeboo song.
that was our coworker. Our
That was the
coworker legit
coworker.
was like, "Hey, come over here." And he just showed me that. And I'm like, "That is like so much cancer." I didn't show everybody else.
that's so toxic. Everyone needs to see this.
It's like me when I watch Arrow manga sometimes, like, hey, Wheeze, or I sucked the life out of your brother with the first 2 episodes.
Wait, he made your brother watch that?
No, I made
Oh.
Boom's brother. Boom and
You said Wheeze.
oh, well, I was talking about Wheeze, but then I jumped over to J Wolf. So Boom and J Wolf came over to my house back when I had the 40-inch monitor mounted on my wall, and I had them watch it, and I watched the life of J Wolf drain as Boom looked from the TV, from the TV to J Wolf, saw his life disappearing. I was like, okay, I can live with this.
I was kind of intrigued on the story because the first episode is not that bad and like in reality. I mean, it's kind of cringe,
It's all
but it
kind of
could be
cringe.
interesting.
It's all kind of cringe. That's what makes it interesting, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but my brother,
I
legit
found an
was
anime
not
worse.
having
He
it.
was not having it at all.
I found anime worse though.
Yeah, I have too.
Like, man, and it's like the same thing, but it's just worse. Just so much worse.
It's so much worse. He won't even tell us what it
It's
is.
I was
not.
gonna
It's
say,
worse.
and?
It's not worse because it's like really bad. It's worse because it's really boring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that. My stepmom's daughter is my ex is the worst anime I've ever seen.
And that came out this year.
I watched 3 episodes and it was the worst thing I've ever seen.
I can forgive a show for being bad in certain ways because
Yeah.
there's almost good points to being like a bad show.
Yeah.
I can't forgive a show for just being bad and boring.
So
Yeah.
like you take all the dull parts of like imagine what's that show called? Love is War.
Yeah.
But like really tamed down, like watered down and boring, and then you add this like weird kind of incest plot. Well, anyways, wrapping up this podcast, we're gonna go back to the original topic of
Chainsaw Man.
No, it was talking. What was it?
Let's see. We
What's the
covered
word?
this
Why
year.
can't I think of words?
We've covered this year's anime.
You're supposed to be a
We
novelist.
talked about
I know. I can't. I can never think of words. It's so hard writing a script because I'm like, there's a word for this.
Oh,
and
I feel that.
can't think
I
of
feel
it.
you know
that
what
so
that's
hard.
called? Writer's block.
I think you start thinking of like you start going for the synonyms of because you know the meaning of
Yeah.
it. It's like the synonyms to
To
this.
this, but it's like a long string of
And it's like,
consciousness that you're
none of this,
explaining.
not this,
It's
not
like,
this,
no,
not this,
no.
not this.
And you know, legit Grammarly does not help with that.
No,
They can't guess words.
And
They
then,
can
like-
correct
Oh.
words, but they can't guess
dude.
words.
Autocorrect is garbage too because I've typed a word literally 1 letter's off, and it's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like yesterday.
you like
I went.
take out the I, and it's like, oh, it's this. It's like, oh.
I will type unfortunately, and it literally only 1 letter's off, and they're like, "Do you mean infinite?"
It's like,
Yeah.
obviously,
It's kind of like last night when I was texting you guys. I'm like, yeah, I'm watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Adolf the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
which just gave me another story
You know,
idea.
with the way your family finds hokey 80s movies, I legit thought it was a thing for a second.
No.
And I kind of wanted to look it up and see what it was
There's
like.
no Adolf the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
But there could be.
There
could
will be.
but no. So
Anyways,
in a roundabout way, we have talked about this year's anime,
Yes.
video games,
Yep.
how video games companies suck because they don't let us have physical copies of
Yep.
stuff, how generations just turn video games into cursed things.
We talked
real quick.
fan service.
We talked about fan service and how Chainsaw is the most pure like anime that you should play in every church.
Yes. Oh,
we,
it's about fighting devils.
we talked about
It
how there's internet and how Boom's Wi-Fi addiction and snorting data is becoming worse and worse.
It's getting better now.
And then we
scratching.
turned around and realized that we'd all die if we didn't have Bluetooth sneakers.
Yeah, because I legit just told you all, like, why don't we just stop watching?
And,
And
then we went like we suddenly had an Alex Jones moment. It was like
Okay,
they're eating my brain.
I remembered the word. See, we're gonna come full circle to gossiping about Pyrolis' girlfriend again.
Oh
Was
yeah,
you
I
Hold on.
forgot the word
Was-
gossip.
I forgot the word gossip.
It'd be like that though when writing a book. It's so
It
stupid.
is.
And then like, I'm gonna take a 30-minute break and
Writing a book,
It-
writing a script. I'm like, there's a
and
word.
like,
There's
you like
a
play a
word.
game to like calm your nerves that way you're not thinking about it. Then the word comes to you and you're like, I gotta write down. But in the middle of a match, you stop and then you get back to the book. It's like, it's gone again.
And then
I just thought of
I'll
it.
find the word and then be like, is this really the word?
Yeah, you
and
doubt
then
yourself.
somehow in all of this,
Then you start gaslighting yourself.
I got
Dude.
caught in the crossfires of Pyrolis flirting with his girlfriend and was very confused.
He wasn't
See,
flirting
there
with
we
his
go.
girlfriend. He was
Flirting with
legit
you.
flirting with you.
Oh, okay. I'm not confused
that
anymore.
air kiss was directed at you.
It was
dude.
towards
Okay.
There we go. Now we got the girlfriend.
yeah,
gossip
that's
thing.
right. It was towards
Okay.
Ramen Cat.
So
Get out of here.
to finish my first thought, Pyrolis' girlfriend is, I don't know how to end this. So
Is part of the Baka-Talk family.
She's the little sister who keeps on getting stuck.
Well, on that note, good night, everybody. Boom. Lead us away with all the information so people can track us down like wild animals and put us out of our miseries.
You can't keep a straight face after my comment.
both of your comments. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on YouTube where you can leave a like and you can subscribe.
Thumbs up.
Please leave a comment on how toxic Pyrolis and Ramen Cat
I'm not
are.
toxic.
What?
Yes.
I'm cancerous.
Yes, you are.
Also, you can follow us on Spotify and iTunes and leave reviews and all that good stuff. You can find us on Twitter at TalkBaka, and you can find us and email us at askbakatalk@gmail.com.
You know what? I want this one thing when you put this on YouTube. I asked a long time ago on a previous thing. I just want people to type in the comments on this YouTube video, pickle. If you've listened that far, please do this for me.
Pickle.
Fair enough. Please leave pickles. Wheeze.
Yes.
Where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube. It's called KBW. And if you search KBW anime, you'll find it. Otherwise, you'll find KBW wrestling, which is not me. That's somebody else. You
It's
can
a
also
better
find me on Twitter at KBW author. It's the same for Instagram. And from there, you can find a link in my bio to my YouTube channel. Or you can also, or you can follow me both places. And that would make you a major Chad.
Chads are cool. Ramen Cat, where can they find you?
Ramen Cat 13 on Twitter or Eldritch Quill Arts.
Awesome. Pyrolus, where can they find
You
you?
can find me at Pyros2 and Pyros Plays. Also, if you want to shit pickles, my address is 543 Mason Drive, Traverse City, Michigan.
You said ship pickles, right?
Yeah.
Like send a
What
package
did you think I said?
of pickles to you, right?
Yeah, ship
Okay.
pickles. Are you guys okay? What's wrong with you guys?
All right. Anyway,
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You can find
You need more Chainsaw Man in your life.
Yeah.
We'll
Find me.
make that a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom.
Hang on a second.
No.
Boom is Sir Boom 9 on Twitter. Okay,
Thank
anywhere else?
you.
All right, that's all for this episode of Baka-Talk. Thank you so much for listening. Gossip more about your friends in the future and get off the internet and whatever other morals we've learned today. Jam meow.
El Sai Kunguru.
We are so canceled.